All right, guys, it's time to share my Rolex with you. Now, I'm not going to talk about the specs, the features, all of that stuff. There's tons of information online about that watch, about this watch already. So check it out. Here's the model number. If you want to check it out, definitely do that. It is a 39 millimeter Oyster Perpetual in the white. So I guess I would rather talk about how I got here, because if you've followed my channel all along, you probably kind of had the feeling that maybe this was something that really wasn't going to happen. And quite frankly, I always thought that it was not going to happen as well. So much so that I never really talked about it with anybody. But there's some truth to this saying that all roads lead to Rolex. So if I got to the point where if I was going to be this strong into this hobby, that I knew at some point that I was going to own one, the issue became that I'm not a big saver. Unfortunately, a lot of you guys are probably also not big savers. So when you have the mindset of trying to just pay cash for your watches, then it's difficult to obtain at this level, at this price point. So I'm going to be straight up honest with you guys. I didn't pay cash for this. I paid half of it and I financed half of it. So, but that's as in depth with that as I'm willing to get. I have a plan to pay it off in a short span of time, and I will accomplish that. So, but essentially what happened is, if you guys remember, so I've been doing the channel for about 2 years, roughly. I've not kept a very good track. I'm not big on saving. I'm not big on keeping track and metrics and all that stuff. So I just kind of wing everything I do. So and that really comes down to even purchasing this. And we'll get into that. But if you guys remember, about 4 months ago, I went on a selling spree and had full-on convinced myself and you guys, for the most part, that I was going to buy an Omega Seamaster Professional ceramic, like the one I had before. And I did some soul searching on that, and I ended up bailing on that because I went back, watched a bunch of videos, did a bunch of research like we all do. We obsess about the watches. And I concluded that I would have ended up reselling that. So I decided to not buy it if I'm just going to sell it again. Like, I came to that realization in my head. So now I had to move on, and I had already sold some pieces, and I knew that I wanted to buy the Manta Triumph. That Manta Triumph is an amazing watch and a great value. So I ended up buying one of those in the green, and I bought a bike that I used a bunch this last summer, and I'll probably do something like that again. But so that was the Seamaster Professional talk was 4 months ago, and then within like 2 months I had acquired the Manta and the bike, and then about 2 months after that I sold the Manta and I sold the bike, and that's when I funded this. So I'm trying to remember when I bought this. I bought this in October, so dang, time flies. I bought this 2 months ago. So man, my timeline's all messed up too, maybe. I don't know. So anyway, it was about a timeline like that. So things escalated quickly, and basically what I'm getting at is I quickly came to the realization that I am really not disciplined enough to save enough to buy one of these straight up. So then I made the decision. I said, screw it. I reached out to a contact that Bruce put me in touch with, Rocky. He's a big watch fan, and he happens to work at an authorized dealer. So started talking back and forth with him, and there was a couple of really good videos on YouTube of this watch. And the reason I went after the OP39 is because I did go to a couple ADs and I tried on some watches. And originally I thought I wanted the Explorer, the 39 millimeter Explorer. I wanted a fairly entry level, if you will, in the Rolex world. So, the Explorer is like 6,500. But then it just seemed like everybody had one, and it seemed too cliche or something for me. I don't know. I couldn't commit to it. I liked it, and I really liked the size. So then I started looking at the OP39 because it's basically the same case. The bezel is different, and then of course the dial and everything is going to be different, and then the clasp and everything's different. But so then I discovered the white, and again, if you guys know my channel, I'm not typically a huge fan of light colored dials. But when you start seeing the white OP39 in some really good high production videos, and I'll put a link down in the description to the videos that I obsessed over. I watched many, many times. I'm going to put those links in the description, so check those out because they're super good. I obsessed over those, and I finally got to the point where I said, screw it. That's the one. The white OP39 is the one to go with. And it's because it is so simple, but yet dynamic. It is nothing more than a watch. It tells you the hour, minute, and second. And it does it with such taste and class that I couldn't choose anything else. Like, this was the watch. So, and that white dial almost never really looks white. It almost, I don't know what it does, and then those indices, the way they did them, they shadow box basically, so it always becomes super legible. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to share the story with you. Hopefully I'll do some better videos with it soon. I know it's had some cameos, but I haven't fully committed to it, but I do like its simplicity. Even the clasp, there's no easy link 5mm adjustment. There's no adjustment there, and it's all brushed, and it doesn't have like the fold over with the crown and everything. The crown is just etched into the clasp. I actually prefer this simplicity. It just works great for me. There's pros and cons with every watch, and I don't even know that I can nitpick this one. You can see there even the way the light reflects off the indices, just amazing. I love wearing this watch. I have been wearing this guy, and I will do a video on that real soon, but let me toss this on wrist for you, and I'll show you. I took it out of the box, and I never even sized it. So it's a little loose, but I fully intend to wear it just like this. I'm never going to take the bracelet off. I'm not going to size it unless my wrist drastically shrinks for some reason. But I intend to fully just wear it like this. And I have intentions of basically not servicing it until it 100% absolutely needs service. So if that's 10, 15, 20 years, whatever that is, that's when I'll service it. So amazing watch. I'm super happy that I bought it. I'm proud of myself for doing it. I don't know. I was hesitant to share this with you guys, but it's all about the watch journey. So I took a journey. I don't know how many watches I've owned. I don't know how many watches that have come across this desk. And majority of them, obviously, I've shared with you. So in that whole time, I feel like it was, to a certain extent, leading up to this. All the buying and all the selling was not a waste of time. I 100% believe that for me, I needed to take that journey to appreciate certain watches that I'm appreciating today. As much as I appreciate the Seiko Monster or the Rolex Oyster Perpetual or this Oris Big Crown or any of the watches that I can truly appreciate now is only because of the journey that I took. All of the watches, all of the people, the whole thing is what leads you to where you are today. So embrace that. Don't skip that. I don't, some people can leapfrog that, and that's fine, but I can't tell you to do that. I think you have to take the journey. I think you have to take all of the watches and just experience them all, and then see where you end up settling with what you've learned on your journey. So thanks for watching, guys. I just wanted to share that with you, and I'm glad that I did finally. Thanks to Homer for inspiring me to do this video in this way, because I didn't want to talk about this watch, its specs and price and all that stuff. I wanted to talk about what it really meant to me, and that's what it really means to me. Thanks, guys.